Hi Dr. Tee Joo. This is our first time at the cardiac rehab gym. What's this place about?
Hi, welcome, good afternoon. This is the NUHCS Cardiac Rehab Gym. Let me show you around and tell you a little bit more about our cardiac rehab program. Want to join me on the treadmill? So this is where we perform supervised exercise classes for our patients, mainly after a heart attack or after any heart procedure. Patients come in person, and my physiotherapist as well as my cardiac rehab team will go through their condition, educate them, as well as prescribe exercise for them to ensure that they are safe and can regain their physical fitness. Overall, participation in a traditional program is very beneficial for heart patients. It reduces the danger of a repeat heart attack, reduces the chances of repeat hospitalization, as well as makes patients feel much better with improved physical fitness.
Heard you came out with a new research paper. What is ICRES and CBCR?
So ICRES stands for Integrative Cardiac Rehabilitation Employing Smartphone Technology, and CBCR stands for Center-Based Cardiac Rehabilitation. So in a nutshell, we recruited 50 patients after a heart attack and randomly assigned them to these two arms, the ICRES arm and the CBCR arm. For the CBCR arm, patients would attend cardiac rehabilitation as usual in the center 3 times a week for up to 12 sessions, and each time would be 1 hour where they would receive the whole suite of supervised exercise. Now we compared the outcomes for this group of patients versus those in the ICRES arm. So what did the ICRES arm comprise of? It comprised of patients who were receiving a Garmin smartwatch. They also downloaded a specialized application, smartphone app, which we created from scratch. Now this app actually allowed patients to track their exercises, and we built it based on the local population, and this was actually based on input from the healthcare providers as well as patients themselves. Patients in the ICRES arm able to extract data from the smartwatch, including the heart rate, as well as the exercise time, as well as any symptoms that the patient may feel during exercise, would receive weekly phone calls from the cardiac rehab team to find out how they were doing, as well as to adjust their exercise over a course of 6 weeks. And then we would measure their exercise capacity at the beginning and at the end of the program, and that saves them all the trips to the center. They are free to exercise at their own time, at their own place. This is compared to the traditional program where the patients would come in as usual, up to 3 times a week for 4 weeks, for 12 sessions in total.
That's great to hear. And how does this result in improving patient care?
Well, we were very heartened to find out that the ICRES participants actually showed a greater improvement in their physical fitness as measured by the 6-minute walking test. So patients who in the ICRES arm had higher 6-minute walk test distances at 6 weeks duration compared to the patients in the traditional arm. In addition, we found that more than double the patients in the ICRES arm completed the entire program as opposed to patients in the traditional arm. I suppose the flexibility of technology and allowing patients to exercise at their own time, as well as the personalized approach with the weekly phone calls, would enable the ICRES app to be a very attractive way of cardiac rehabilitation moving forwards.
Thanks for sharing this with us, Dr. Tee Joo.
Most welcome.